Play me that Bosch.
Bosch.
Bash.
Oh, he's done it. Brilliant.
You actually added it to the mix.
Yeah, I can hear it in the headphones.
Will that come over when we film?
Love it.
Bosch. So now every time we hear him, Bosch.
Bash.
But that is actually him recorded off the...
Oh, that's who said voiceover?
Yeah.
Funny.
Bosch. What episode anyway, Jack?
39.
39. The only two rules are don't lean too far away from the mic and try not to get so passionate you bang on the table because he starts getting angry, don't you? You think, why
Give us
edit?
a Bosch if we're...
Yeah, Bosch.
Bash.
Bosch if we're banging.
I love that.
Amazing. Bash. So, episode 38.
9.
Just checking.
On his toes, isn't he? 39.
Just checking.
Season 4, 39.
Season 4, episode 39.
39.
You sure?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
39. Yeah.
Got two new guests on tonight, and we've got Dom from Pride in Gardens. How you doing?
Very well, mate.
And also we've got Liam Wood from
Sterling Plumbers.
Sterling Plumbers.
Sure?
I'm pretty certain. I don't know what to say.
I think it's Sterling Plumbers.
Yes.
So, two fantastic new guests for tonight. And who would you like to...
I was good. Do you know what?
You always love something that's not plumbing first, so I know you're going to pander to Dom. You're going to try and get into Dom.
Into the landscaping.
want to get into Dom, see what the landscaping's about.
Okay. Yeah.
So what we normally tend to do is we get people on the show and we sort of try and take you back, not to... I grew up and Mum always said because I had a bucket and spade I was going to be out
I was
in the
destined
garden.
for it. Yeah.
Not that sort of stuff, but just for anybody listening or watching and people thinking want to get into the same line of work or whatever, just take us back to sort of, school time, when you left school, did you go and do A-levels, all that sort of stuff. Just give us a brief backstory as to how you became to be what you're doing now.
So... It's funny actually because I was listening to it was the stonemason you were done last week.
Chris. No, it wasn't Chris. It was Chris. Chris. Yeah, Chris.
Tom and A. Stone.
That's it, Tom and A. Stone, and he's quite similar to mine in the sense of when I was at school I was really sporty.
Rugby. What position?
Fly off or centre. Yeah. I look
the
more like
pretty-
a prop now,
the
but
pretty-
I used
the pretty
to be
boys
a
of the
fly
team.
off or the centre, yeah.
Not my face.
Anything but the face. So I went to college to do a BTEC.
Sports science.
It was that irrelevant. I can't even remember what it was. Something to do with sport anyway. But just to play rugby, really. And then I was going to Leeds Met to. I got accepted onto a course. I can't even remember what the course was because it meant that little to me. I was just
ticking boxes.
I was just like, get me into uni on any course. You need this many points.
Yeah.
So I was going to that, but I hurt my shoulder badly. So that put an end to the rugby career. I mean, I wasn't good enough anyway. I just thought I was. So then I was 18, thinking, shit, what am I going to do now?
Yeah.
And I tried several different jobs. Worked in.
What was it?
Britvic in a call centre.
Is that the worst one?
Then I did a
Please
cash,
say yes. Can't be a worse one than that.
I did a cash delivery driver for a
worked
while.
in, Muller.
Yeah.
I worked in their factory in Worcester for about three weeks doing nights, and I was like, all I'm doing here is putting labels on milk bottles. I was like, I can't get out of it.
Well, that's what I was like at
than this.
Britvic. I was like in this call centre with a headset on, a bit like I am now. But you're doing
Go on,
an
give us a
administrative
spiel.
job. Hi, you through to the Dom at Britvic.
How do you like your oranges?
I was
Pressed or
doing
squeezed?
I was doing an administrative job, which is not me at all.
Yeah.
And if you wanted to go to the toilet, you had to put a thing on your desk,
A sign?
like a little sign.
Ding,
So
ding,
I'll go,
ding.
Yeah. So that wasn't
By
for
the
me.
time they've got
Please
round
go
to
for a
you,
toilet. You shit yourself. You can't move. So that lasted like 5 minutes.
Literally.
And then
Can I go to the toilet now?
Yeah. His flag's on the desk, but he hasn't been back for 3 days.
Is that what they made you do? Put a flag on the desk?
Yeah. So it's be like you. And then I ended up going and doing some work for a landscape, and one of the blokes at the rugby club said to me, "Oh, Graham from Chandler Stone, actually, he's still going.
Yeah.
Really nice bloke. He was looking for someone for a week or something, a labourer. So I went and did this labouring work, and my first, I don't know if you've ever seen when crates of sandstone arrive. They arrive in a crate and they've got little wedges in.
Yeah.
And like, they're horrible to get out because you've got to get the wedges out and then you like pulling the sandstone out. And he had me doing like 6 or 8 of them in a day, taking all this, like the worst work possible. But I loved it. I loved it. It was brilliant. Honestly.
Could go for a piss whenever you wanted.
Yeah. You just
want to go
doing it if you want, yeah.
On the sandstone. I love this.
Yeah. So I did really enjoyed it. The physical side of it. I was moving around. I was outside.
How did the shoulder react to?
It wasn't too bad actually. Yeah. And then I went back thinking I could play rugby, and then it went again. So that was
glass shoulder, Dom, they call it.
Yeah, ridiculous, mate. So I enjoyed that, and I really wanted to go full time with him. Yeah. But he was like hit and miss. You know, it was like 3 days, 1 week, and then
is that just because of how busy he was? Or?
I think so, and whether he had a couple of labourers, and I don't know I don't know, but it was just getting to the point where I was like, I needed to do something. I just turned 21. And my mum said to me like flippantly one day, I was like moping in the house a bit. You've got some cash upstairs for your birthday. Why don't you just go and buy a lawnmower and cut some grass? So I was like, yeah,
thanks,
Mum.
Mum.
I'll go then, shall I?
No, right, I'll fuck off and do that. So I did. I just made some leaflets with my mate and went knocking on doors. And like where we are is relatively close to the Land Rover, isn't it?
Yeah.
There was quite a lot of redundancies had been made at the time. So I knocked on doors and said, I've just been made redundant from the Land Rover.
Brilliant.
I'm looking for some work. I'll do anything. And I did. So that's how it started. But my passion was always to get into the back into the hard landscaping. So I fed off scraps. So I'm talking like, my first job I got was 15 quid. I priced it. They said, how much to clear this rockery? I thought, it'll take me an hour and I want 15 quid to do it. I didn't factor in any fuel, any taking the stuff away, anything else. It took me 3 hours. I took all the stuff away. It gives me this 15 quid. I've never been as buzzing in my life, mate. I thought, I've just made 15 quid for myself here.
Yeah.
In reality, I'd lost loads.
It
was brilliant.
I think everyone starts like that, though, don't they, trade-wise?
Yeah.
How to price a
It's
job.
a massive learning curve. Huge.
And so I had my mum's Ford Fiesta.
Yeah.
Put the seats down in the back. That was a van for like 3 months. But I was literally knocking on people's doors. Do you need anything doing in your garden? And I think people were just a bit like,
especially when a big burly fly half I'm knacking my shoulder, but what you got?
So they're just like, yeah, okay, do you want to do this? Like, how I never killed myself, I don't know. I used to go up trees with a chainsaw, no ropes, and like start, honest to God, mate, it was ridiculous. But then it just kind of...
I just need to say, don't try that at home.
yeah, definitely don't try that at home. And then my passion was always getting to doing the hard landscaping, the slabbing and stuff. But obviously you need more money to do that because you need to outlay on materials and you need way more tools and all the rest of it. So I just was lucky, really. I fell on my feet. A guy I know gave me a job doing his garden, landscaping his garden. That was like $5 grand, and I thought I'd like hit.
You priced that one right.
Well, I went to him like halfway through the job. I think I'd priced it like $3.5 grand or something. He obviously knew it was ridiculous. You know, I went to him like, I nearly finished the job. I went, mate, I've dropped a bit of a bollock with this. I know you did. And he was like, don't worry about it. Like, what do you need?
Everybody's back for you.
Yeah. And then I got a big job in Edgbaston. For a guy who was giving me a day rate, 100 quid a day. I thought I'd made it at that point as well, because then I needed to, I was thinking, it was cash.
Money, guns, the lot.
yeah. So then I was, needed to get someone, because this job was massive, and I couldn't do it on my own. And then I ended up with Paddy, who Nat has been with us ever since. It's 11 years. And learnt loads from him, because he's an old boy, he's done it all. So it was like a blessing for me, really. He was like a real blessing. And then it's just evolved really from there.
How many have you got working for you now?
There's 10 of us full time now, and my mum's in the office part time. Yeah, pulling all the strings. So I mean, it's.
Do you employ all of them, or are they contracting to you? Tax man.
Yeah, they're all.
They're all on zero-hour contracts.
No, they all direct for us. They're all.
Yeah.
And if you'd have said to me 12 years ago, Dom, you all have like 10 guys and this and that, I'll be like, no way. So I can't even now I can't believe it's.
Because I mean, the first few years they fly by and you realise, well, actually I've only got one person working for me, and then all of a sudden there's more.
What tends to happen is you'll never go out and think, I need to employ someone else full time. You might just think, I need an extra hand on this job. So you'll say, does anyone know anyone who like is looking for 2 weeks work, say?
3 years later, you're still there.
3 years later, like Paddy's case, 11 years later, you're still there.
But they're the best ones to have, aren't they? Because you haven't had to go out and get them. They've come to you, you've worked with them, and they've just stayed because you know their worth.
Absolutely,
that is the hardest bit, though, is trying to get decent people in.
Oh, mate, it's the hard. I love it. I'm so lucky with the lads. We've got a brilliant,
Good group.
A really good group. And like I say, Paddy's been with us for 11 years. Chris is like 5 years, and there's some lads who like are building time. No, so it's a real good like core of people, which is important really, because we'd be knackered without them. Yeah, absolutely knackered.
I mean, when did you then sort of? Because I know a lot of people are always apprehensive about taking people on. They think, I've got enough work on this job, but then are the other jobs after that are coming? Yeah. Am I going to be able to keep someone on? Because that's in my mind. I'm always like, I need to take on more staff because I'm more busy. But what happens if it
dries up? Yeah. Well, we're lucky because we're over 12 months ahead in the diary, which is great because you can say with confidence to people, if you're recruiting, look, come and join us. We've got work in the diary. There's a pipeline of work we've got, plus all the other stuff we're quoting for. Yeah. So because of the nature of the projects we do, I don't know if you've seen any of the stuff we do, but you've probably seen they're big projects. Like your mate's old place. We're there for like months, 6 months sometimes. We're doing these projects, so it's not a high volume of work. It's just getting the right projects. And then we're all right because we can say to people, look, we've got 12 months.
And I think as well, when people are coming to you and you're saying, I can do that for you, but it's 10, 12 months away. Yeah. Some people like that. I find people, because they know that if you're booking up for 12 months, you're good at what you do. Yeah. If you can turn around to someone, I'll be there week Thursday.
There's an issue then, isn't there?
Yeah, definitely.
Everyone always says if someone can start like next week, then there's a problem.
So booking that far ahead is great for you.
Some people love it. Some people
hate it though because they're like, I need it doing now.
Everyone needs it doing now.
That'll be him too.
Are you mad?
But a lot of people will wait. We do lose some work because people don't want to wait, and I get it. But it's
majority of them will wait for you.
The majority will wait. Yeah, the majority will, which is great. We're so lucky now. We're really, really lucky that we've got people who, like I was listening to the lad from Green Genie talking the other week, and he was saying that we're at a point
where you can pick and choose a bit more.
Yeah, and people are coming to us saying, we want you to do the work. Yeah. They're saying, we want you to do it. So when can you do it? We'll book work in and take deposits from people.
Do you find that a lot of that comes from the social media side because people can watch how you
I'm rubbish with social media. We've got real low following. I'm trying to be better, but it doesn't come naturally to me because I don't have any social media of my own personally.
Is that not just something you've never really bothered with?
Yeah, I mean,
some people they're either social media type people or they're not.
I think you have. If you're not now,
you're missing a trend.
Absolutely. But I just never thought, who'd be interested in what I was doing in my day-to-day life.
I was just going to say, gardening is key for it. It looks amazing.
Well, we get great before and afters. The transformations are amazing with what we do. So I just never thought people would be that bothered. Yeah. And then I started doing these stories, and I'll walk around. Today we've got 3 jobs going on, and I walk around them all. People love it.
You've got the other one by the park. I've spotted you just by the park. Where the doctor surgery is in Knoll.
Oh yeah, Lodge Road. Yeah, we're on Lodge Road.
Noticed you.
That tapping at your window last night about 10:30. That was him as well. He knows where you was.
I need to see your level of work.
Yeah,
I know where you are.
No, because you can't miss it because you've got all the signs out there.
Which again, they're having the signs out, like you said, Al. That's how you spotted Dom first. Was the signs everywhere.
Yeah.
And I do the same. I've got the boards that go out when you're doing the bathroom.
And you had the advertisement at the train station.
Billboards, with the 2 billboards in Dorridge over Christmas. I mean, it was my friend who sells the advertising, and she rang me and she said, I've got a great deal for you.
And that's all you've got to say 20 grand.
That's all you've got to say. That's all you've got to say to me. I've got a great deal for you. I'm sold. I'm a salesman's dream.
I'll do that too if I want my garden doing. I've got a great deal for you. Starts next week. Starts next week. Next week only.
Yeah. You've got a week window.
Yeah. So she said, I can get you these billboards in Dorridge. Okay. I mean, it was a lot less than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah. So it worked though, because I saw that first, and then subconsciously I see the logo when I'm.
Yeah,
It's in your head then, isn't it?
I've done a lot of reading and stuff about this like subliminal messaging and these like this subliminal marketing where people they just see it and they then think that they can trust it. You know, like, oh, we see that everywhere.
Well, you have that sign, and then you have your signs at the jobs. And if people
then you
see
vans.
more than one, and then they see vans driving around.
We got all some new vans and stuff, and I put like beacon lights onto all the vans, so we park them outside the jobs. And, like, beacons are rattling around, the lads are like, we have to put these on. I'm like, everyone looks. If I'm driving down the road and I see a thing with a bit, I have a look. So people seeing this, like they see your logos, they see that. I bump into people all the time, and they say, I see your vans everywhere. Yeah. I think I've got 20 vans on the road. I've got
just you doing laps.
Yeah, it's just me just doing laps of the local area.
Your beacon on.
Yeah, just flashing around, yeah. But we've got five vans, but you know, they're like, oh, we see you everywhere. Yeah, everywhere. So it's hard to say with billboards and that kind of stuff whether what comes back from it, because people say, oh, did the billboards go well?
If you booked up for a year, then stuff must be working.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
In that sense,
something's working with it.
Even if nothing comes back from a certain board, it's just in people's psyche, isn't it?
People see it.
Like you said, you pass it there, you pass it there.
People see it, and then I mean, we're on Dorridge Road. You know, Dorridge Road. We've got two next door to each other at the moment, so we've got like branding on the two houses, and it's like it's a nice area. It's good for us. You know, in terms of the house size and project sizes, and
be associated with
with the people we were working for. It's great. I mean, it's
so that's where your social media stuff, pictures of that for your Instagram and that look mega, wouldn't it?
I need to be so much better. I think because touch wood, I've never struggled. I've never struggled for the work, and we don't. I mean, we're 12 months ahead in the diary. That I've never had to do it, but we had an office at Earlswood Garden Centre. We had like an open to the public office that people could walk into. That we got rid of during COVID. So we used to get a lot of work from walk-ins coming into the office, and when we got rid of it during COVID, and I started to push the social media. I mean, our following's tiny, but the engagement that we get when we put stories up or pictures up, and we do like some really nice, like fancy stuff, people love it. And if I haven't done a story for a couple of days, like, people will message me and say, "Here's the story."
You always go on about that, Al, don't you? Sometimes your account doesn't have to be massive; it's the engagement, isn't it? Well, Al's got some witchcraft that he looks at that he knows what's going on.
Yeah,
that's me and him in the background.
But you know, you could have an account with 5,000 followers, but the engagement is massive. Have an account with 50,000, it's crap.
You're better off having 5,000 followers. But if you were to actually say, "Well, this is the best bottle opener in the world," and 4,999 went out and brought it. Yeah. That's better than having 250,000 followers and only 1,000 people go out and buy it.
Yeah.
So it's sort of, you know, as long as people are engaging with your content, you're always going to grow. Whereas some accounts now have got so many followers, but people just go scroll past it, or they just give it a like and they don't actually leave a comment or anything else. Yeah. But you're lucky in the trade that you are is
visual, very visual.
That before and after.
Yeah. And again, the lad from Green Gene, he hit the nail on the head the other week, because it's all the shitter the job is when you go into it, the better it is at the end. You know, like we kind of sometimes I'm hoping that it's like it looks awful when we get into it,
because the
transformation is just, they're unrecognisable, and when you put them, you do the before and afters, it's like mind blowing. You think, how's that even
for somebody like me that's not like massively trade related, like you talking about the brick that you did on that particular job, like looking at stuff like that, you think, well, I'm learning about something that, you know, I'm not normally interested in, but actually I quite enjoy listening to you talk about like different types of brick.
I can't believe how many people are actually interested in the stuff that we do, like the brick stuff, and we bullnose some porcelain tiles to put on the outside of some steps, and people messaging me about this bull. Oh, I love that.
It's content gold.
I would just never have thought people were that interested in it, to be completely honest.
Here's a question for you: grass or astroturf? Don't ever say astroturf to me ever.
No, I'm a real grass man personally. What are you, an astroturf?
No, pure grass.
Pure grass. Yeah. I'm a real grass man.
Grass.
We put astroturf into my parents when we did their garden, because the dog just kept pissing on the lawn and ruining it. We've done about 4 lawns, so
that's like the bottom tier of my garden now because I've got a female dog, and as soon as she wheezes anywhere, it just burns the grass. I'm like, no!
My putting green's gone.
No, it's terrible.
Oh, grass. I love grass.
So do you do a big reveal at the end of your jobs? I asked the lad from Green Genie if he did the same.
Yeah.
It gets to a point where you've seen the progress, now don't look, it's the final week or whatever.
It'd be impossible for us to do that.
Really?
People are so involved in the projects now, which we do by design really. I like the people to be involved because I want them to have exactly what they want when we hand it over. I want them to be.
So are you doing drawings of the designs initially?
We work with the designer, and she then she works for herself, sort of thing. But we've
then comes up with the.
She does the designs, or sometimes we'll, let's say you gave us a call, whatever, you'd have some drawings. You said, "Oh, we've engaged a designer already. Here's the drawings. Can you do this for us?" And then we'll just deliver what they've done on the drawings. But if people ask us for a design, then we'll put Danny King, who we use. Into,
I think Green Genie, most of the time, they love it when people just go, "Here's some money, go
There's
and do
50
it."
grand. You get a feel for what people like, your bathroom. I know what's a customer there or thereabouts. Yeah. But he was like, they'll give us 50 grand or whatever and go, we want this and this elements.
Yeah.
Just do you.
Yeah,
that's better than your 15 quid, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
There's the 50 grand.
Take longer to spend it. Yeah. No, but some people. I mean, the one we're doing round the corner from yours is that's what's happened. My mate, he bought it as an investment property, and it all went wrong. Couldn't get the planning. Like no, it was all everything went wrong.
The NIMBYs next door.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. That's what it was. Everyone who could objected. So he just said, "Dom, we need to get this thing on the market. Do what I completely trust you. Yeah. Do what you
to make it look half decent."
Yeah.
So do you split your team between a couple of jobs, or do you all jump?
Yeah, we've got 3 jobs running at the moment, and I find any more than 3, I don't want to do more than that because I don't want to lose the quality.
Much,
I don't want to lose the quality. I can still go over everything with a fine tooth comb and make sure and be on the tools on one of them.
I was going to say, are you hands-on or are you more going round?
I have a
whipping
plan.
The boys.
Unless he's getting 15 quid, he's not doing it.
15 quid cash, I have these ideas in my mind, say, like I'll plan a week or a day. I don't know with you guys where this happens.
Never happens.
So I think, right, Monday I'm going to be on Lodge Road all day. We'll dig it out, we'll get it stoned up, and then the boys can crack on. Tuesday I'm going to be in the office, which is my mum's house.
Yeah.
I'm going to do Tuesday, Wednesday in the office. Pricing. I'm just going to do pricing of like this pile of prices that I've got to do. By like Monday, 8:15, the whole thing is out of the window.
Because he's out with the bloody beacon on.
Yeah.
I saw that out the window now.
Flashing everyone.
Yeah. So it's some day, like this week I've been quite hands-on. Next week I could be just looking at work, meeting people and trying to price work. Yeah. That's the most difficult thing I find.
Yeah. It is. It's hard to find that balance, isn't it?
Oh, it's difficult. It is difficult because then something completely unforeseen will pop up. You get a call and then you think, I've got to go and deal with that.
Yeah.
And then that's your whole day. Then
that's the issue. I think the bigger you get, and the more people you've got, the more
problems you get, don't you?
Like Biggie said.
Yeah.
More money, more problems.
yeah, and it's true. Yeah. It's true. And the more people are paying, the higher the expectations are, and the more responsibility you've got,
especially around some of them.
Yeah, but I appreciate it. I think what I understand is that because, like I said, because we operate domestically, I understand that people are spending their own hard-earned cash. So I understand how important when we're doing a project for somebody, it's the most important thing that they've got going on in their life at the time. It's like buying a house, isn't it? You know, when you're trying to buy a house and you. Well, why hasn't the solicitor done this? Well, why hasn't the agent rang me back? And it's the biggest thing you've got going on. It's the same with what we do. So I say sometimes to the lads are like, so stressing about this. And I'm like,
it's a massive thing for them. They're putting a load of money into it.
Exactly. I'm like, look, we do this all day, every day. A problem, what a client might think is a problem is just an everyday occurrence to us.
Yeah.
It's easily sorted, but to them, it's like the biggest thing. Like, oh my God, this isn't worked. This isn't working to the drawing, or but
they can't see past that.
Yeah,
because it's not their world, is it?
Exactly. So I am just really aware of that, and I'd never want to be one of those builders, so to speak. That's not my problem, love.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You do get them though, don't you?
Not one of them. Like Mark on a Friday. Not my problem.
5 o'clock Friday, I'm off.
Yeah, this is what I priced you for. That's what the boy says. I'm doing one. You know,
Yeah.
I would never.
Bathrooms.
I'd never forget it.
Not on a weekend.
So, ladies and gents, tradesmen and women, I am trying to help you organise yourself. So we have teamed up with Tradie, which is a software brand that if you are struggling to get organised, to look after your customers and to get everything ready for the jobs that you are going to need, then Tradie is an all-in-one solution. So we've teamed up with those guys. If you click this little link just up here, you get 50% off your first 3-month subscription, and you also can have a 14-day free trial. Should we get into...
Let's have a chat with Liam.
Luscious Liam over here.
I thought he was going to say Boy Scout then for a second.
Boy Scout Liam.
Instagram's oldest Boy Scout or something.
Benjamin Button of the plumbing world.
Never ages.
Yeah, it's getting younger by the day.
Younger.
I don't know, I'm 28 still, so nearly 30.
Nearly.
Nearly.
So, Liam.
He won't tell you how old he is. He'll be like 30.
I can't remember 30.
Mid-30s.
So obviously you work for a company, but they give you that much free roam and free scope to do what you want to do.
Yep.
But to get to that point, give us a bit of a backstory from...
So you're 28 now. Take us back 2
It's
years
not
when you were
much.
16.
Basically, I kind of obviously school, all that sort of stuff. Went straight into college at sort of 16, but I was already going to sort of jobs with my dad because he's a builder.
Yeah.
So I was always going out doing sort of like landscaping, like you've been doing, etc. Getting hands on with that kind of stuff. I just didn't like getting dirty, that kind of thing. Sand, cement, it wasn't interested in any of that.
He had to do what you did, picking up the stuff.
Yeah.
I was like, nah, it's not funny.
So basically, always been sort of hands-on, always come from a family of tradesmen. So naturally, the progression was work with your hands. It's kind of how I've always been taught. My younger brother's the same, my older brother's the same. But my dad, for example, always used to say to me, well, you know, you're never going to earn any money working for someone else, etc. And I was like, but you can earn good money working for a company. I was like, I'm always going to, that's kind of where I wanted to go. We've been really, really lucky. So I left school, worked with a couple of companies, etc., sort of worked my way up through the field. I used to work for a council contractor, so I'd be doing sort of 10, 12 jobs a day. Loved it, and you'd never be pushed. You were kind of your own boss for the day, if that makes sense. You had free roam to do whatever you wanted to do, obviously, as long as the job got done. It was amazing. But I came out of the council sort of life, etc., because I didn't want to do the call out at 2, 3 in the morning, that kind of thing. So I literally thought, you know what, I need to go and work with another company that I can work, doing normal hours with, basically.
Yeah.
Went with a couple, and the one I'm with now, Sterling.
How many times did you get called out at 2, 3 in the morning? Is it a lot? Because we've had other people that used to do council work, and they mentioned...
Yes, so for example, I get home at sort of... the on-call I did was Friday evening to the following Friday morning. So you have that full week. You get your retainer for the week, and for every call out, it was, I don't know, it must have been like your hourly wage or whatever it was. It wasn't a lot, but it was enough. At the time, I was still living at home with mum and dad, didn't have a mortgage. It was loads of money at the time. It was good.
15 quid.
It was actually a little bit more than that. But
don't want to brag.
Just saying. It was good, and it was a good life experience to have doing work for the council, because you come across so many different walks of life, and it's just amazing. You've done all the little bread and butter jobs. That's what you start off as a plumber, and it's just nice to carry on with that stuff. I used to get called out sort of. Probably, I think one night, I got called out about 10 times in one night.
Did you?
Yeah. So to start with, it was like, because it was new, it was like, it's exciting getting called out, it's good. The novelty soon wore off.
Yeah.
Because, do you know what? It was like...
What's the latest you ever got called out?
So I got called out once at probably like 4:30 in the morning. Yeah, and
Delicious. Just in a deep sleep, that
but
is.
the way I done it was, you used to sort of, if you ever got called out in the middle of the night, you'd get that time back in the day, so you start your day a little bit later, if that makes sense, but then your day still drags on. Do you get what I mean? Yeah. I think one day, I went a full 24 hours with no sleep, literally just went, do you know what, it's now 6 o'clock in the morning after my 10 call outs, I might as well go to the merchants, grab a tea, grab a coffee, whatever. And
it was that point you went, I can't do this
anymore.
Tapping out.
I'm done. But it was a valuable life experience, and one I'm glad I did. Yeah. I really, really enjoyed it.
The good thing is you're cutting your teeth there, so if you do make a mistake as well or anything like that, you're learning your trade in that environment.
It was the perfect place to, if you make a mistake, it's fine, it's not a problem. I used to cover one area, the plumber used to cover the other area. So there'd be two plumbers across for sort of one county, if that makes sense, one borough. It was good, it was close-knit, we were all good friends. And I loved it, but in the end, after 2 and a bit years, the call out just got the better of me, and I thought I need to walk away from this.
I need sleep.
Were you doing the call? How often would you be on call out?
So once every 3 weeks. So it'd be shared between 3 of us.
You'd need the beacon on there.
Yeah, I'd have your beacon on there.
But sometimes you go a whole week with sort of 2 or 3 call outs, and then other weeks you go with sort of 20. It ranged, but you
10 in one night though.
I was
Savage
knackered,
that.
yeah. But by the time you literally drive from so where I'm from down sort of Sussex, Surrey, literally from one side of the county to the other, it's a good hour tops, maybe even more, depending on the time of day. So you'd sort of get to finish the call out at sort of midnight, drive all the way back home, and the phone would ring again. And do you know what? It was a Samsung, I don't know whatever it was, but the ringtone, I could never figure out how to change it. I'm not Samsung. Do you know what? And it got to the point where the ringtone haunted me. Every time it went, I thought, oh no, and literally
we need to find that ringtone. Just play it over.
it was scary.
It's on a loop.
Do you know what? The guy that used to work with us now, he used to have whatever Samsung it was, and he had this ringtone, and it went off one day when I was working with him, and I literally just jumped out of my seat. It scared the living daylight.
Just brings back all their memories.
Yeah, I was thinking, oh no, please let me call. Oh no, hang on a minute, it's 12 o'clock midday. What am I worried about? It definitely shaped you as a plumber, because you got to meet loads of different people from all walks of life, which was amazing. And then literally went from there onto Sterling. So
you stepped out of that council and went, I've had enough of that then. So how did you get into Sterling? How did you get?
Literally, so Sterling were advertising for a job or plumber. I was looking, and I went for an interview with Neil, my boss.
Yeah.
Had a really nice sort of conversation with him for 40 minutes.
Yeah.
And he literally, at the end of the interview, it wasn't even an interview really. He was like, "The job's yours if you want it." And I was like,
Did you know of the company before?
So I was looking. So me and my fiance brought our first house in Sussex. So sort of, like I say, between sort of Gatwick and Brighton. Brought a first place. Couldn't afford to live in Surrey still. So I moved down there. I was looking for a new job, and Sterling were advertising. and I just literally I knew of the area.
Yeah.
But I didn't know obviously anyone there. And it's like, you know, when you start your first day at a new job, you're trying to figure out where stuff is, etc. And you're like, oh, I'm never going to get this. I'm always going to forget names. That was exactly the same thing. I was like, I don't know where any merchants are. I don't know where anything is.
Because you never knew the area.
But I literally just, got offered the job. I took it and rolled into it. And I was like, right, a whole new sort of area I'm now working in.
So how many years in was this? You fully qualified at this point?
Yeah. So literally done all the council, worked for another couple of companies, then went on to Sterling, etc. Just not gas. But I obviously got unvented and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But it's literally been sort of ever since sort of 14, 15, I think I started doing odds and sods here and there, and obviously doing stuff with my dad. So like I say, landscape and all that kind of stuff. So I can do kind of pretty much anything, apart from plastering. And
I was waiting for you to go, apart from electrics.
And that as well. I can't like I don't know about you, right? But I can't. So heating systems, okay, for me, not a problem in changing the components. When it comes to wiring centres, I'll open up the box and I'll go, nope, put that back on. Nope. But we have a guy at work, Naz, who is like a wizard with this sort of stuff. He literally just looks at something. He's like, that's what's wrong with that. And he's like, you crack on then, mate. You know.
I even know electricians that lose their heads with S plans, Y plans, heating, wiring, heating.
So you're going to, I know electricians again, not my job. It's electric's not my job.
Yeah. You carry on. So you went on with them for how long? You been on with them for?
Just under 2 years. A little over 18 months.
And they're just mega. This is where I want to go with this, is because they support you in everything that you do.
So when I started social media sort of before I started with Sterling, but I never really got into it. I started with Sterling, and it's just a free-flowing sort of environment, day in, day out. You turn up at the office in the morning, have a coffee, whatever, take the mickey out of each other, of course you do. It's daily life. And literally just head out and do your day, come back, and we've got a fridge in the office, it's full of beers. So literally come back at the end of the day, have a beer each.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
it.
you drink beer, do you?
I'm currently drinking that.
Bloody vegans.
And I started, and literally everything's just sort of free flow. You can do what you want, as and how you want. Obviously, we get given our jobs for the day. I tend to typically do a lot of the bigger stuff and the sort of bread and butter stuff. I don't really get involved in the bathrooms that often. When I do, it's nice.
That's what you call Big Marky.
Good me, mate.
The bathroom bandit.
Bandit over here.
The wet bandit.
But no, my boss Neil, he's literally just, ever since I started doing the social stuff, he's just like, crack on.
So he doesn't mind you putting the jobs on?
No. Obviously, you go walk into someone's house, you have to be respectful of someone's property, ultimately.
Yeah.
So it's like, when I'm in someone's house, you'll often see me filming something, and it's like, I made the point to get down to the floor. It goes back to the Mears days, like when I worked for the council. It was like, when you're in someone's house and you had to take a picture of the job you did to prove what was there, and then you obviously take a picture of the job after it was done. Yeah. You couldn't get someone's like photos in it, for example, from like family stuff. It's like, you just ultimately just respect someone's privacy in their home. So literally, as long as I'm not showing someone's house or them, etc. on camera, it's not a problem.
You're always going to have people, and we interview people on here, there's always people that like, I don't go on social because I don't want to, you know, show off somebody's out, or some people get a bit like, well, you can't put that on there.
It's a bit like the guys I work with. So some of them are happy to be sort of on camera, like Louis and Ed, for example, the two apprentices. They're happy for it, but I don't put the other guys on because they're just not that comfortable with it.
You just get them on there.
So are they older? Them guys older?
Yeah, they're a little bit older.
It's very much a generation thing, isn't it? The younger lads, they'll love it. You know, I'm on Instagram, this, that, and the other. The older ones.
It's weird, right? Because like I said, I'll go into someone's house and it takes a good sort of 5 minutes for me to start filming something, but like make sure the customer's out of the way, don't get them in earshot, etc. Make sure you don't catch them on camera, obviously, and you can kind of film at your heart's content. It's just perfect. But yeah, literally Neil just gives me all the freedom in the world to do whatever I want.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, if you're doing the job, you're doing a good job, and you're happy there, and you're pushing stuff on social as well, actually it's benefiting the business as well.
Because you'll always plug Sterling or mention Sterling, won't you?
All the
Sponsored
time.
by Sterling.
Literally, yeah.
Sterling.
Literally, I just, anything I take pictures of, reels, whatever it is, I just ping it over to him and I go, there you go. And it's stuff he can put on the Instagram page, the Facebook page, whatever. He hasn't got to go out and do the filming, etc. It's literally, I just send it all over to him and it's perfect. I love it. I wouldn't change it for the world. Yeah. It's amazing.
But they also, you know, when we do our tours around factories and stuff like that, they've allowed you to use your van to come up and give you days off, and that works the other way, doesn't it? I'm sure if you come to a job that needed doing, they've looked after you that way. Right, I'm going to stay extra 4 or 5 hours, get that done, because it goes hand in hand with it, doesn't it?
I mean, so most nights I'll work till whenever obviously the job's done. So that could be, I mean, last week, for example, was 7:30 one night, and it's literally, I've been going sort of 12 hours or so on that day, and it's like, I'm just going to stay to get the job done. It's just what you do.
Yeah.
But when
for that company, whereas a lot of people go, work till 5, that's it.
That's it. Do you know what? I say it for everyone I work with. Everyone is the same. Everyone is the same as me in the sense that they'll just graft and graft and graft. Everyone I work with is a grafter, and everyone puts 110% into Sterling.
So have you got no aspirations to go on your own? I know the whole thing is because with a company.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, for some people, actually, when you're working for somebody else, you get up in the morning.
It's a security thing, isn't it?
It's not so much security, but you don't have to. You can just get up, turn up. Everything's planned for you. You go and do your job. You do what you're good at, and the other stuff's taken care of. So you don't have that stress. So in that sense, like, especially trades, you haven't got to book your day. You haven't got to deal with a customer.
Pricing
because
jobs
it's like,
and all that.
You know, that takes away that sort of like that stress.
So I'll be honest, it's an awkward question for me, and it's one I do not like answering. Is will I ever consider going self-employed one day?
You can never say no, but at the same,
exactly this. You never say never. You can never rule it out. But ultimately, when I and all of us guys at Sterling get treated the way we do, why would you want? Why would you want to change it? For example, like I say, there's beers in the fridge. For at the end of the day, you can walk in there, have a conversation, whatever. I mean, the guy, you know, everyone's got a nickname, for example, so it's good fun in there.
What's yours?
Linda. I get called Linda.
Okay.
Moving on.
Noted.
Everyone has a nickname, but I won't repeat.
Only on the weekend.
I won't repeat
From 8
The
till
other
7
one.
in the morning, I'm Linda.
I won't repeat the other ones.
Linda, your plumber's here.
Yeah, it's literally on the WhatsApp group. It's Oi Linda.
That's me calling him Luscious Liam. He's Luscious Linda.
Yeah. Luscious Linda. Yeah. Everyone's got a nickname, but I won't repeat everyone else's.
Yeah.
Linda is the only one
No,
you can have.
Liam, yours will do.
Yeah, but it's just a good place to work. It's fun. The work's set up. We all obviously got our own vans.
For some people as well, like just being able to get out of bed, go to your job, and everything's ready for you, and you haven't had to think about that.
The majority of the time, stuff's bigger stuff like bathroom stuff, boiler stuff, etc., is delivered to the office the day before or the week before, whatever. We are, to be fair, kind of our own bosses in the sense that if we've got a job coming up and we've quoted for it, or someone else has quoted for it, we've got to go to the merchant ourselves and pick it up and kind of be our own bosses throughout the day. You can't rely on everyone else in the office to do that for us, if that makes sense, or the merchants to deliver it. So we are responsible for our day to day, if that makes sense, to a degree. But you can never take it for granted, because you can never just think, oh, the merchants will deliver that shower screen tomorrow, because
They don't.
this is it. So it's like you do. If you're passing by, it's like, you're going to deliver this for us tomorrow, and they'll go, oh, we don't remember getting asked to deliver it. It's like, well, can you please deliver it?
Yeah.
Because it saves me having to drive backwards and forwards all the time. If it's there at the office, put it in the van, off you go. Our day is sorted. There's no hassle. The one thing we have to do is we still have admin work to do, to be fair, believe it or not. So obviously we get our jobs come through on our phone as to where we're going, all this kind of stuff. I'm terrible for this, but we're meant to be filling it out every time we've completed or we've been to the job.
Update the notes.
Yeah. I tend to typically, I don't know why, I leave it probably a day or two.
And then you forget what you need to write.
No, I get told off first, and it's like, Liam, can you please fill this out?
Come on, Linda.
Can you please hurry this out? And I do, but to be fair, as a tradesman, you just typically all the same.
You want to get packed up and you want to get off the job.
It's not my first thought is to fill out something on my phone. I want to do my job, go to the next one, keep on going.
Whereas for us who works for ourselves, that is in the back of your mind all the time, isn't it? Getting that done.
Yeah.
So I think if you was to make that transition, you not like doing it.
You'd have to do it.
Yeah,
I don't do it. You don't get paid.
Big Mark says you have to do it.
I can adapt to it. I think it's just typically because you're just so involved in your day, and I love what I do, and it's like going from one job to another. It's like, I can't wait.
Also, you can get your day done quicker.
Yeah. I mean, I normally have time at the end of the day to fill it all in, and you can do it at the end of the day or the beginning of the next, etc. But I'm just terrible at just doing it after every job. I normally have to be reminded to do it, but I'm just focused on doing the job and going and getting in and out and doing what I've got to be doing to make sure that job's done for that customer.
So do you get any jobs coming in for yourself? Do you get friends and family? Oh, can you do that?
Yeah, so
he's like, no,
I don't use a company van or anything.
Right. So we all
right. This is important.
we all get our own private stuff come in from people we've known for years or whatever. We'll do it, but it's when people ask us, or they've asked me before, oh, can you fit a bathroom for us? It's like, no, I can't, because
It's a big job.
It's a big job, and it's like, well, unless you want me to do it over the course of 3 months, at the weekends and the evenings, then no, I can't do it. If I get the smaller stuff come in for myself, etc., from people I know, I typically tend to do it just on a Saturday morning, only half a day. I won't escalate to a full day.
And they don't mind you, I assume, use the van and that. They're good as gold.
Yeah, so if I need to use the van if it's like a radiator change or something, it's like, obviously I can't get it in the back of my car, so I need to put it in the van. I'll ask Neil if I can borrow the van. Yeah, not a problem.
So that's what I mean. As long as they're happy for you to do it, then you'll put a shift in when you need to for them.
As long as you ask.
Yeah.
It's not a problem. The thing is you judge it based on the job you get. So I had someone come to me and go, oh, we need this and this doing. And I was like, do you know what? This is too big a job. There's the company card.
Cool, Mark.
Just phone up and get it done via us as the company.
Did the company do that?
Yeah, because then at least we can actually devote the time to it. And then I've actually got the time to do it, and I'm not going to have to do it on like a Saturday or a Sunday, for example. You just judge each one based on what you've got. If it's a small job, easy, in and out. But I mean, literally maximum half a day on a Saturday, and that's it, because the merchants are shut at 12 on a Saturday. So after that, if you haven't got it,
forget it.
Yeah, that's always the risk. To be fair.
Yeah.
Any other questions, or should we go to our Jerry Springer?
I've now got my thing, haven't I? 5 years. Where do you want to be in 5 years?
So it's a difficult one because, like I said earlier, if you'd have said to me 12 years ago and I set up on my own, this is what I wouldn't have believed. So, but when you get to that stage, it's never enough, is it? So you're now thinking, I want more.
Yeah. Have you got a goal?
I'd like to get into, which I am doing slightly. I'm conscious that I can't do what I'm doing forever at the pace that I'm doing it, because you know yourself. Like it's, when you're working for yourself, it's 24 hours and it's 7 days a week, and it genuinely, you hear people say it, but it genuinely is, and it's never off your mind, and it's constant.
You can't turn off.
So I'll try and to look to get other streams of income, mainly property, really. So
if you've got good contacts as well, easy enough for you.
So we're doing one. Me and my mate are doing one at the moment, and I've got a buy to let and stuff. So I'm just conscious that I can't go at this pace forever.
Well, as a tradie as well, your body can't. You get to a certain point, and you've
got to start tucking little bits away, little nest eggs away.
Yeah. Because with what we do, I didn't actually touch on it earlier, but we're loaded with risk. You're on a price, and particularly when you get into these big projects, you can be.
If you're out, you're out.
Yeah.
Mate, you can be out, and when you get into the projects, when you're talking like hundreds of thousands, you can. If you're out and you
can't go back and
say, you're like. So I want to de-risk slightly as we get.
Okay.
But I love my business, and I can't believe I got it to, because I didn't have a clue what I was doing, by the way. I meant to say this earlier. I was just like,
that's all of us, mate.
Scooby, mate. I used to, because there's no, like with you've achieved the standard. You're on the gas safe register. You've got your qualifications. It isn't that in landscaping. Anyone can set up in landscaping. I just used to like.
Is there no affiliating body?
No, once you brought a lawnmower out,
once you got a Briggs and Stratton in the van, you're laughing.
Fly mower, innit?
Little fly mower. But I'll be excited for this. I just used to look on YouTube for stuff, and then
this is the thing. When you come back to, you were like, I can't believe anybody wants to watch us, but you were watching.
I was watching.
You was watching. Yeah,
I was, and then we'd all done it, made so many mistakes, but I'm so glad that I made them. And I caught a cold on a few jobs where we lost money, and
it's character building.
It's character building. You learn so much more from the failures than you do from the successes, without a doubt.
Yeah.
So 5 years, or hopefully the business will continue to grow, but I'll have diversified slightly.
You just need to try and bring someone up that can.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oversee stuff, and then you get more time.
I need more time. But in 5 years' time, I want to have more time, because at the moment
clone yourself,
engrossed in the business. Yeah.
Like you, Liam.
5 years. I'll still be working with
Sterling.
I was waiting for him to go, I love my own business.
That's where I was going with it.
No. If I could sign a lifetime contract, I would.
Pledges like, would you?
Of course I would. What?
He's like,
I've been.
Liam, nothing lasts forever, mate.
I'm about to get married in 8 weeks, so I hope it does. I hope it does.
There you go. Would you not buy into the company?
If I had
Neil, he's buying into the company.
If I had the money,
management
Neil,
buyout.
Would you go into it?
Yeah, I would.
You would?
I would.
That's like obviously the type of business he has. Like maybe some sort of share option to get people.
I mean, I don't know the ins and outs. It's Neil's baby. He loves.
Is it just him? He owns.
Yeah, it's just his. Yeah, it's his company. If I could sign a lifetime contract tomorrow, I would.
Neil, get it done.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm on transfer deadline day with Peter Odin. Harry Redknapp. Neil's Harry Redknapp.
In the car park at Tesco's.
Get it done, son.
I think as for work-related stuff, I think I'm happy doing what I'm doing. I love what I do. I don't see the need to go changing it.
Yeah.
I think if I was to set a goal for sort of 5 years, it would still be with Sterling. I think work-wise,
Is there anything you want to learn? Because there's people like Glenn doing like ground source heat pumps.
So it's getting into the ground source, the hybrid systems, that kind of stuff. That I look at that and I'm thinking, I wouldn't have a clue about any of this, but I want to get into that. I want to learn about that because our industry is forever evolving. There's new stuff coming out. Obviously, we've got installed next week. There'll be so much stuff there to look at that's new and innovative, and it's like I don't know where to start. I don't know anything about it. And it's just nice to just.
Are you not on the snug stand? Because everyone's on the bloody snug stand apparently.
Dave had us over a treat with that.
Yeah, no.
So they're doing heat pumps.
I think we do.
Yeah. It's all right, because this will go out 4 weeks after it. Yeah,
Okay,
they're
right.
unveiling,
Well, this
they're unveiling a
clip's
new heat
going
pump.
out before install. I'm just giving it away.
I think just learning sort of newer sections of the industry,
Yeah.
I think is kind of where I want to be. I don't, like I say, I'm happy, I'm content with what I'm doing. I don't see the need to change it at the moment. I not like I can foresee anyway.
There you go then, Neil. Lifetime contract, ground source heat pumps. He's done.
I'm done.
Sign him up.
Done.
Literally, honestly, what I don't understand what I would want to change.
Yeah.
I've got I've got a beautiful fiance, getting married in 8 weeks. I mean,
He's doing his Jeremy Springer.
yeah, I'm just doing it.
Do you know what? Life, he's completed.
Yeah,
28.
that's it.
I'm happy. I'm happy with life. I don't see the need to change it.
Yeah.
Can I just ask, as an employee of a company, and you guys obviously have your own businesses, is it difficult to find employees that are willing to work and graft day in, day out?
So these guys here, like we're sat here now, it's 8 minutes past 6, and they're still here.
Yeah.
To find people that like, and I'm not asking anybody really to do stuff outside of work time, because it's sort of like these guys will stay here and do this, but if they said to me, look, can I work from home or can I have a day off? Not a problem. But to find people that want to put that little bit of extra graft in, or say like, you know, there's a problem with the website, I can message Nathan at 10 o'clock on a Saturday night and he's like, all right, I'll jump on and sort it. There's not many people that want to do that. I've done that with these guys like Jack. I think I needed a video going out and Jack jumps on his computer on a Saturday. G does the same. But there's some people that are really good at their job and they'll come in and they'll just do the 9 to 5. That's fine. But then when you need to go to war, you need those around you that are willing to just go, do you know what? Yeah, okay. It's not
this, we'll get it done.
It's not always expected, but then people will do it, and then you reward those people back. But to find those people that just want to do that little bit more, that's the difficulty.
Yeah. And then it's keeping hold of them as well.
And for you, because you are in that bracket, you don't mind doing that little bit more. That's probably why you get more back.
Well, it's an employer's dream, I think. I mean, if you were working, oh mate, I'd be over the moon.
It's like,
you know.
can you relocate?
Sorry,
Neil. Sorry, Neil. Man City's now ready to sign him. Sorry, Neil. Oil money's involved now.
But that's what I thought was interesting with your whole thing is being employed, but giving that as well and supporting the company.
Like, I wear my heart on my sleeve and I wear the company logo with pride. If it's his baby, it's his company. If it was my company, I would want my employees to do exactly what I'm doing. Why would I be different to someone else's company?
If you had a open conversation with him, a genuine conversation, he would, and I'd say most bosses would say the hardest bit about any business is staff. Trying to keep staff. And it's like sometimes like you need to pay people more, but you can't. And you realise that they could go and get more money elsewhere. So you have to try and figure out then how can I help those people with other bits, whether it's days off or like, you know, do you need anything? Is there anything I can help you with? And you have to sort of, it's like a juggling act. But like there are some places where I've worked before and I've been employed there and I've thought, God, they just treat staff like shit. And I always vowed if I had my own business, I couldn't be that boss. Like occasionally I'll lose my rag in here and I'll have a moan.
Oh, we saw that earlier.
Do you know? But that's not genuinely moaning at night. Nathan just knows that like something will piss me off, and then 10 seconds later it's forgotten about. But it's like there is so many different types of personality under one roof, and that's probably the hardest thing is trying to manage that. Is like, you know, I know I could be dead straight with these three and say something, and it'd just be like water off a duck's back. But then other people in there, I have to sort of change how I speak to people because they get their arse in their hand.
But it's like if I'm passing here, because I only live up the road, if I'm passing or about, I'll swing in. But it's the working area here is that it's inviting. It's not like an office. You walk in, all right, Al, all right, Nathan.
It's because no one's ever working in it.
That's what I mean. It's like the whole, is it Google or Facebook, their offices is just like skateboards around, and it's just a cool place to be.
So, as you know, myself and Pete, we always want to try and give back to the people that watch and listen to the show. So we've done you an absolute solid. We've got loads of discounts from top name brands all across the internet. So if you want to save some money on tools, software, tool bags, accessories, then go and check out our discount page, which is just located here. Hopefully there's a saving on there for you, and that's a little bit of a thank you from myself and Pete for supporting the channel.
So final thoughts. We're doing
So
final thoughts?
yeah, do a final thought. So you can either shamelessly plug yourself like Mr.
Bash.
Ry Davis, or you can give us some sort of like big dramatic speech about passing knowledge on or something to the youth of today.
I'm not gonna plug myself. Because
What about Sterling?
Who?
I don't know.
Sterling who?
I'll give advice, I think, because I think it's important, especially recently. I will say this to anyone coming into the trade and anyone starting out on social media, okay? Don't care what anyone else thinks. You do what you want to do. You just be yourself and follow your own path. It's very easy to be told, oh, you're doing that wrong. Oh, I wouldn't go doing it like that, etc.
There's 10 ways to skin a cat. Isn't
But do you know what though? Is social is full of enough negativity. Rather than have negative Nellies everywhere, let's just turn it into a positive thing. So it's like, rather than comment something negative on someone's post or reel, say something good about it. Turn it into a positive thing. So
I'm going to comment on one of yours. I can't find anything good to comment.
yeah, you're a bit guy. But basically, to anyone starting out on social, just don't worry about what other people think. You just do what you want to do.
Yeah.
It's fine to make mistakes, and if you're starting out in the trade, it doesn't matter what trade it is. It's okay to make mistakes. Everyone starts somewhere. It's fine.
Still make mistakes.
Still make
Yeah.
still make them.
What about you then? Let's have
Well,
the
I won't
knowledge.
plug myself either. All I would say,
Pride in Gardens.
all I would say is, genuinely, if I can do it, anybody can do it. Like I said, I didn't have a clue, and I'm grafting my bollocks off. So if you're willing to work, work your bollocks off, you have to graft. If you're willing to do that and make mistakes and own them, then you can do it
And put the hours in.
Yeah, put the hours in. And the other thing I would say is, be good to people because they'll be good to you. So whether that be people who are working for you, like your boss is really good to you and you're good to him. I would try and do the same, but also to clients.
You never
Things
know.
go wrong.
Even if you do a quote and you don't get the job, you
Exactly.
never know
Yeah.
that person
Exactly.
might.
But so be good to you because it'll come back.
Yeah.
People will be, and if anything goes wrong, I've had jobs that have gone wrong, and I'll be so lucky with our clients that things have gone wrong, and I haven't even said anything, and they've kind of
They can
picked
tell,
up on
can't
the fact,
they?
and they said, "What's
Yeah.
going on?" I sat and they've said, "Look,
The house
don't
has
worry
fallen
about it.
down.
These things happen."
I've dug the footings.
The house has subsided. Yeah.
I found the dead body in your garden.
Yeah, but equally, we've had that happen. But equally, we've been good to clients as well, where things have gone wrong, and we know that they're tight on a budget,
Yeah.
and we sort things out for them. So that's what I would say.
Yeah, instead of stitching them up on it.
Yeah,
if it's gone
absolutely.
wrong,
Yeah.
You go, I know you're on the
We'll look
boards with
after it
it.
and we'll sort it. Yeah.
Because a lot of people will take that and go, we've seen what they've done.
Yeah.
When we want something else done,
Yeah.
or they'll give you a name to someone
Yeah.
else.
Oh, they're just word of mouth, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it
massively.
is for us as well. Particularly, everything's word of mouth, really. So you've got to have a good reputation.
Oh, well done. Thank you for.
Hey, thanks for
Enjoyed
having
that,
me.
boys.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
really
Very
enjoyed
good.
it.
Very much.
Thank you very much.
If you like listening to Al talk over all the guests, if you've enjoyed this episode of Trade Legends, listening to Al talk over everybody else and people banging on the desk, if you've enjoyed listening to and watching today, you fucking gonna just stay still, one space, just for a minute.
If you've enjoyed watching this, blah 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 blah. Right, 3, 2, 1, go.
So I'll just not do it.
Go.
Yeah, you sure? I'm gonna shut up for just like a minute. If you've enjoyed listening and watching today's Trade Legends podcast, please subscribe to our channel. It will really help us out. We're a new podcast. We want to do big things, and you subscribing, hitting the little bell so you get notifications would be just great. Thank you.
Hitting the little bell. I was like, yeah, ding 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 ding.
There is a little bell in there.